Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, we are back at it again with our first impressions, our pull value video over here for good old Denia. And the situation is this. This unit has two forms. She has two different things that she's capable of on the battlefield, and that essentially means, in some ways, you get two units for the price of one. But what if I told you that those two units that you get for the price of one, they're a little bit specific in the teammates that they need? And what we'll be doing today is pairing Denia up across a wide variety of those different teammates, their alternative team options, and of course, try them out in a bunch of different game modes too, just so you can see how much she changes the game for your account, depending on the units that you have, and you can decide whether or not she's somebody that you'd actually want to pull. So without further ado, let's go ahead, get into her build, and talk about what we're working with over here. If you're saving up for some of the upcoming banners, you've got to check out Enjoy GM. It's a top-up platform that gives you some of the best prices on in-game currency, especially for Wuthering Waves, with discounts up to 20% off. New users get 8% off site-wide that's stacked with member deals, 6480 plus 1600 Lunites for just $75. Note, discounts may vary by the region. The process is super simple. Just your UID and server, and your Lunites will arrive in minutes. They also have 24/7 customer support and work with tons of global payment methods, so it's fast and convenient. Plus, Enjoy GM is certified with PCI DSS security standards and has received consistently high ratings on Trustpilot, a platform you can trust completely. I've tested it myself. It's safe, legit, and saves you real money. If you want to stock up on your Lunites before the banners drop, click the link in the description below or the pinned comment and start saving with Enjoy GM today. All right, so first things first, when it comes to Denia, we are going to be using her signature for a majority of the tests over here, mainly due to the fact that she doesn't have a lot of other budgetary options from that perspective. Like, you don't really want to be using the free-to-play rectifiers on her because they're not really that good. And the best alternative that you're going to have on the roster of rectifiers is actually going to be Stringmaster. So hopefully you've got this. Otherwise, her weapon options are like really bad, and Cosmic Ripples will probably be your best bet from the baseline standard banner. So do keep that in mind. We'll maybe run a Stringmaster test or two, but it shouldn't really matter too much. All right. Next, when it comes to her echo sets, Denia has the unique ability, like I mentioned before, of being two units in one. And so that means she's also going to have two echo sets on top of it as well. This is going to be my chromatic foam set that you're going to be seeing over here. Pretty decent overall set, especially with like 1 4 out of 5 piece, but I'm missing a crit rate rolled over here, as you'll see. So could be better, but it is what it is. Next, though, that's her fusion burst set. She's also going to be having a, well, just check it out over here, a Tune Strain set as well, where she's going to be using Reel of Spliced Memories and this nasty looking, ugly ass, goober looking moth over here as the main slot echo. And so this is what my set is looking like. You can see it's almost equally as mid. I don't really have that great of a Denia. She already absorbed like 3,000 of my tuners just building her two sets, so I'm not out here trying to min-max two fucking sets for one character. You can probably see how I feel about her investment requirements. I would have preferred if she simply had one set and they could use that set in both forms, but it looks like she doesn't have that. It's more so the opposite. Skill levels. Main skills that you definitely want to max out will be her Liberation, her Forte, and her skill, with her basic probably being able to be kept lower alongside her intro. Basic's going to be kept at level 9. And yeah, her Liberation and Forte are going to be the main sources of her damage, so do keep that in mind. And you definitely want both of these inherent skills, because this is where all of her buffs are. 30% fusion damage bonus to the team in Resonance Mode Fusion Burst. Bing, bing. And then in Tune Strain mode, you kind of do need Mornier, but you give a massive Tune Break boost bonus as well. And remember, when it comes to Tune Break boost, what does it do? It makes your Tune Strain deal more damage. Each point of Denia's Tune Break boost increases her total damage against the target by 0.12%. So you're meant to use her with Luke Curson. So yeah, that's what we're looking like on the investment side. It's going to be an S0 Denia as well, so don't, trip too much. The stats are almost equivalent across both sets, so yeah, she's going to be working with 126.8% ER. For my testing, that was enough. So we'll see if we need to alternate the rotation a little bit just to make her fit within those restrictions over there. So yeah, that is going to be the setups that we got right now. So let's go ahead, let's park ourselves in the TOA and talk about where we're going to be running some tests. So the first one is going to be an Aemeath Fusion Burst team that we're going to be doing against floor 3, because this actually has a bit of AoE. And second, Chisa's going to be on that team, and Chisa really does not have a good matchup against the False Sovereign because he's Havoc resistant. So hopefully we should be able to get a good gauge of what this team is capable of using this floor as the testing ground. So we got to make sure that Denia's on Fusion Burst mode. Also got to make sure that Aemeath is on Fusion Burst mode, and then our Chisa's just going to be parked out here. And so when it comes to the Chisa's build, hers is like really good. Like, oh my god, this is a fucking crazy build. She's gonna be on her signature just because I don't want to bother building a rejuvenating glow set for her. That might technically be better. And then Aemeath is over here. She's got a pretty solid build as well. And a laser sword. So let's get this bad boy started. There's going to be no shield buffs at all in this stage, so do keep that in mind. There's no attribute damage resistance getting removed. Nothing really getting any bonus damage at all because we're running Fusion Burst. So do keep that in mind. And let's get this started. All right. I missed Chisa's Echo skill, but yeah, no. Yeah, no, we can get it there. So you're just gonna actually oh wait, my Denia's on the wrong set. Yeah, no, you're gonna run into this problem a lot. Yeah, no, my Denia's on the 2 straight set. Yeah, I realized I turned into a moth. I don't want that. Yeah, I don't want to turn into a moth. Nope. That's unfortunate, as you can see. That's really unfortunate, as you can see. But that is to be expected when you play this unit. So this is like actually lore accurate gameplay. If you pull her, this is gonna happen to you. So like it's just might as well see it live right now, right? Like let's be realistic here. This is the actual Denia owner POV. So one thing we can do is actually like kind of like start off on Aemeath to kind of like, I don't know, like get a little bit of her forte. All right, I can already tell this probably needs to be reset because of the grouping situation. Yeah, no, it probably does. All right, we're gonna have to do a way better job of grouping them. These guys are so fucking annoying, dude. I hate these enemies. Yeah, I might need to tomb break them immediately. Bro, the tomb break didn't even do anything. Anyways, you get into this big form, right? And then you can do your, like, 2 little cancels that are, like, super fast. Kind of mistimed one of my cancels over there. And now you're going to be out here. Denia's rotation is one of the shortest in the game. Like, realistically, I think it might actually be the shortest. So they definitely got that part of the agenda, like, good for her design. Like, her rotation is incredibly short. And as you can see, we're getting some pretty decent amount of damage done over here. Already on the Chronoblight. Boom. Oh my gosh, bro. Her ass got beat. But the good news is, her attacks have some decent range and it can hit some flying enemies when she's in the other form. Oh my gosh, I didn't even realize we already got here. Hopefully I hit him. He like disappeared. You just go in, basic attack, E, and then, yeah, her rotation is, like, ridiculous. Oh, whoopsies. Oh, I messed up there. But her cooldown is so short, I don't think it really even matters. So yeah, this does way less personal damage on the Aemeath side when it comes to, like, you know, compared to like Fusion Rupture for sure. Or, sorry, Tune Rupture for sure. But this is way better in AoE. It's way better in AoE. And so even like using her in the TOA, it's not really going to show us her full potential here. And do remember, Chisa's one of those characters that actually like deals damage, as you're seeing here. Like Chisa was basically able to clear out like the rest of that dude's HP. And so the team actually does pretty decently into content. Pretty much clears at the same level as any other high investment team, as long as you're not facing Havoc resistance. A lot of people will be taking this team into this floor over here and then saying the team is dog shit. And it is on this floor because the False Sovereign is tanky to Chisa. And Chisa actually does damage in this team. And so the end result is that, like, if you use Chisa here, bro, you're in for a really, really, really rough time. Yeah. That's the situation. You're in for a really, really, really rough time. And as you saw over here, clear time was actually quite impressive. So, though, what we got to do now is see what her alternative form is looking like. And we're going to take this alternative form over here and actually use it on this side. Because, well, we don't have any type attribute stuff, things to worry about. And Denia's got a Tune Strain mode. So we got to use the Tune Strain DPS, Luke Herson, and see what this is all about.
This moment only.
All right, so this is going to be her Moth Boy set. Nothing else really needs to change over here, but we are going to be using her with Luuk Herson. And this guy is bricked up, ladies and gentlemen. I've got one of the most insane Luuk Herson builds ever, probably on the server over here, and that's what we're going to be working with. Then this is just the Morgy that's going to be AFKing on the side. So without further ado, this is the team that we got set up. She's going to be on Tune Strain mode. Let's get this going and see what some bosses look like.
Energy consumption increasing. Command mode engaged. Access confirmed. Processing complete. Initiating criticality protocol. Structure override. Please don't.
And as you can see, bro, we like Tomb broke him immediately. And do you see how fast her rotation is? It's almost illegal. There is a buff for Tune Strain active right now. Do keep that in mind. There is a massive Tune Strain shilling happening at the moment. So we will take this against Crownless too, just so you can see how crazy it actually is. Boom, 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 boom.
Eternal. Rise anew.
Assuming master control. All units fire. Attack him, authorizing maximum output.
Oh, man.
Switches at my turn.
Ah, shit, I accidentally fucked up.
Please, don't.
It does so much damage, it's crazy.
Assuming master control. Access confirmed.
But remember, it's a shield stage with attribute resistance that ends up getting removed, so
Switches at my turn.
it's probably not going to operate like this all the time. Naturally, right? And she does some decent damage too in Tune Strain mode, as you can see. She does some decent damage as well. So yeah, getting some big booms over there. But do keep this in mind, right? When they inflict tune ability shifting states, their total damage increase further by 20%. And then when enemies take Tune Strain, this effect of all attribute resistance is removed. And so, this is where we can finally do our most, I think, realistic test. Do we have a... not okay, no, that guy's resistant to fusion, so that's not gonna work. These guys are resistant to havoc, so that's not gonna work. There's not really a good enemy to test this up against. At least in single target. Unless we were to go into, I don't know, one of the other endgame modes that we have available in this game. So we could finally see, right, just at like a baseline, which of our teams seems better in the single target content. Well, I've got my first stage of End State Matrix ready to go. And we could just test out, we could just look at these teams over here. Yep, I've got my first stage of End State Matrix, ladies and gentlemen, good to go for this breakdown. So why don't we start off with this Chisa team over here first, right? Yeah, let's start off with this Chisa team over here first. And when it comes to the buffs that we can do here, when a Resonator inflicts tune ability shifting states, why don't we go for this one? Because this team doesn't inflict tune ability shifting states. Yeah, this team doesn't. Yeah, they don't. Yeah, put her on Fusion, put her on Rupture, or put her on Burst, put them both on Burst, and they should have no buff from this. And then for the Luke Herson team, I could just use the Echo Skill enhancement. Yeah. Or wait, do I just use the Echo Skill one here? No. No. That would increase Chisa's Havoc damage. No, this one straight up doesn't do anything. Yeah, so no shield buffs at all. Just see what we do against the Nameless Explorer in round 1. Let's see how it is. Oh, we gotta check the set. Oh my god. Yeah, no, that's gonna be annoying. That is the new limitation of this character, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure you check her fucking set every single time, bro. This is bad, actually. They should never do this again. Yeah, I don't know, bro. I feel like they should make it so that each mode, like, holds their own set. Because this is a pain in the fucking ass. Alright.
A pivotal flicker into form. Break apart. Is it my turn? Now please don't. Forgive me. Devour. Radiance no more. Come on, little one. Feather girl, soul singing.
Here we go. Boom.
Savior's victory.
And we gotta see how many points this thing gets. Denia with Aemeath is kind of meh. I feel like most people have kind of come to that conclusion. It's alright. But when people are coming off of using Tune Rupture Aemeath, yeah, maybe it's just people expected this team to be better than Tune Rupture Aemeath. That makes sense. But remember, the Fusion Burst mode is meant to be not as good in single target unless you, like, decide to go Giga Sweaty and, like, Quick Swap. Because the team arguably is the best Quick Swap team in the game. And so, of course, we're going to have to do a Whiwa test and stuff afterwards, too.
Please don't. Look at me. Devour.
Alright, we kind of fucked that one up over there, but not that big of a deal. Luke Bezos isn't homeless anymore. What does that even mean, bro? What are you even saying, man? Do some of you guys just write chat messages, never expecting them to get read, and like, now that they've been read out, like, you're just like, there's no comment? Like, what's going on? Like, you just saying shit? Alright, so let's see. Like, with some scuffed day 1 gameplay, we got a 7K with no buff. I mean, yeah, like, scuffed day 1 gameplay, 7K with no buff is pretty good in, like, when you're not meant to be single target. Not bad. I mean, I don't think there's anything to necessarily complain about with that sort of lineup. And when you know that you can quick swap, right? When you know that you can, like, quick swap, and apparently there are some people getting, like, 19K if you quick swap. Yeah, I mean, like, this is the thing. There's so much of this rotation that's spent on Aemeath doing nothing. Denia, Lupa, Galbraina, that one, Mornier's just better there. Yeah, Mornier's just better than Denia with, like, the mono fusion carries. Now we gotta test out Denia with Luke. Yeah, we gotta test out this phenomenon over here now, guys. So let me just go ahead and change my fucking Denia echoes again. Oh my fucking god.
This moment only.
All right, here we go. And now we gotta make sure that with this team, we're choosing the echo skill buff. Yes, I'm gonna buff my resonant skill damage by 20%, but that seems like... Wait, actually, no, I can do the negative status one. Yeah, no, I'll do the negative status one. That one is guaranteed not to have any fucking effect in this team. So now let's see how this team does. Let's give this a bit of a go. We got the negative status buff, so it should have no effect here. I think this guy gets, like, broken faster under Toon Strain, but that shouldn't really mean anything. Or he, like, deals less damage or something like that, but I don't think that matters. Yo, where is he? Holy moly. Did this look even good? Dude, is this guy dodging all my shit? What the fuck was that? Wait, I've never seen him this evasive before. Did he just decide to, like, be a freak? What's going on? Okay, wait a second. We just built up literally 50 fucking % of his off tune like this. Yeah, no, you just start off with, like a skill or something on, like... Wait, no, that's a sick little combo you can do. Yeah, you start off on, like, Luke or something like that. And then you just do like this. And then look at his off-tune build-up rate. All right, for some reason, though, Mordier's Forte is, like, not happening. So is that, like, is there shit, like, bugged? Wait, what is even going on here? Where's her concerto? There we go. That's normal. Here we go. There we go. Now he wasn't a bitch here. Damn, that tomb break for Mordia did 94k. Not bad. A little bit of an overkill here. This is really good in end state because you keep being able to like build up their off tune like super fast. Okay. Oh my god, I almost lost Denia's outro there. Wait, did I lose it? Oh, come on. Where's my energy? I was out by like 0.5%. All right, let's see if we can squeeze in another Denia rotation here. Hey, did I get it? No, I didn't. I don't know. I feel like I really fucked that one up real bad. And I could have gotten like an 8-9k with no buffs. Nah, I feel like I could have gotten way better. Nah. I fucked that one up pretty bad. I think that gets to like a 9, maybe a 9-10k otherwise. Yeah, no. I basically got one unbuffed Luke Liberation. And then the other one, definitely, I could have gotten that Liberation off at the end. But as you can see, this team definitely feels a little bit stronger. Yeah, you can see that it scored better with me fucking up a lot of stuff in there. Yeah, with me fucking up a lot of stuff in there. So, yeah, I would say Luke definitely is feeling a lot better with Denia. At least in, like, single target content. But Luke was already good in single target content, and so was Aemeath. I think the true test over here is going to be this. And this is where we decide to take Denia into Wuthering Waves. And, well, there's a bit of a situation going on with the character in Wuthering Waves. I hope you guys are ready for this one. Denia might be the, like, best and worst Wuthering Waves character in the game. And what I mean by that is this. Okay, wait, why is none of my Whiwa done? I'm pretty sure I already did it. No, I 1000%. Did I just not claim it yet? Oh. That's fair. Yeah, I could have just gotten those for the rewards instead. Anyways, let's get into why Denia is a disaster in Wuthering Waves. It's just very simple over here. Let's just show you what it looks like when you decide to run maybe a Luke Kirsten team on side 1. And let me show you what occurs with her. Remember how I told you her baseline form doesn't do a lot? What do you do then if you don't have resonance energy at the start of your rotation? Let's just take a look here.
Is it my turn?
She can't do anything. Literally, this unit, without her ultimate, cannot do anything. Like, you actually can, like, press all your buttons and stuff. You can do nothing except basic and skill. And her skill is on a 20-second cooldown. She's a basic attack only unit until you have her liberation. Now it can actually do something. Right? Oh, yeah. That's what I'm talking about right there, bucko. Look at the point total. One minute in, 460 points, because you're playing with no unit effectively on your team. Denia's stagnation field, right? Or her erosion field, right? The field that she makes that groups in the enemies. Bro, you only get that when you use her second liberation. To use her second liberation, you need to use her first one. And to use her first one, you need ER. So the only, like, her main bonus, right, where she pulls in nearby targets, applies the debuffs to them, all of that. The main reason why she's good in Whiwa is locked off between her doing nothing for like 30 seconds in the first half. So effectively, Denia's a bit like this. You, like, can't really use her. You can't really use her that well. But this is a discovery that I've made. You don't actually need that good of a... You actually need Denia on the second half with Luke Herson. You don't need Denia on the second half with Aemeath. So let me talk to you a little bit about what goes on over here. So we're going to run the negative status token on this side. Just run a random bum-ass team on this side, and I'll show you what's going on in this team in Wuthering Waves. So the main, I think, attraction over here for Denia, at least with Aemeath, is how she improves Wuthering Waves as a whole. So this is what we're going to be doing. I go on over to Chisa, right? Start off the run, blah, blah, blah. Go to Aemeath over here, and then go to Denia. Then I would go back to Aemeath over here, and then do all my fusion burst stuff. And you can, as you can see, that would clear stuff pretty well. And so now let's see what it looks like when I do that with the proper fucking gear. Yeah, now let's see what it looks like when I do that with the proper fucking echo sets. Yeah, I know. Don't worry, boys. I know. Oh god, this is, dude, they need to find a better way to do this, brother. I'm just gonna be real with you. They need to find a better way, because what's the point of adding these shortcuts for all these modes if I'm just going to be going into the screen anyways to change my echo set? You know what I mean? You guys know what I mean? It's like I have to go there anyways to change my echo set, so it doesn't matter if you give me a shortcut to change the mode. Anyways. So, yeah, we start off on Aemeath over here. Maybe go, like, over to Denia or something. Then go back to Aemeath. They go back over here, and you're gonna notice, right? Okay, Aemeath is actually able to do some stuff when she doesn't have any energy. Which is, like, not really, like, typical for most characters, but do keep that in mind. She is capable of that. And then check this. Look, even with just outros, do you see how side one, Denia, is not that bad? You see it? Only on side one? No, she's better on side two. But do you see how, like, actually good it is in AoE? And now we're just, like, extending this rotation a little bit so we can wait to nuke these guys. So, Fusion Burst team. actually good regardless of the side. But the Toon Strain team, you gotta use it on side 2. I'm sorry. But right over here, this is some crazy good performance. Come on! Ah! I may be holding on to some of my stuff for too long to like hit some bigger nukes on things when it might be better to just like switch. But I think 2.6k to 3k on side 1, boys, that's impressive. I think 2.7k to 3k on side 1, knowing how like ER and stuff like that can be a concern, and knowing that this reset has gotten HP inflation, I think that's pretty good. Yeah, I would say it's closer to the top when it comes to overall performance in the game. So that's going to be what that looks like on side 1. Now we're going to have to do something a little bit goofy over here. We need to show what she looks like on side 2 with Luke. So do keep this in mind. She's only playable on side 2 with Luke. You are not doing anything with her on side 1. Literally fucking nothing. So keep that in mind. All right. So start off on Morgier over here. Do some fun little air attacks to mark our enemies. Then we're gonna go ahead, jump to Denia over here, get her forte and everything. And then appreciate Denia's grouping. Ah, damn. I think I just ulted a bunch of 1 HP enemies. Oh, man, that was looking kind of juicy. Oh, huge. Ah, damn it. I think one of them is living with like... Oh, no, 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 no. We got it perfect over there. No, the last guy that was living died. I will say her grouping is insane. I think I definitely fucked that one up over there. So this is the thing. I could definitely get a way better clear time with that one. Yeah, I kind of had like some moments where it was like, it could have definitely been like better timed. But yeah, I think Luuk is now pretty consistent, like 2.3, 2.4K maybe, if you play better. But yeah, no, it's definitely better for Aemeath in Whiwa, and definitely better for Luuk and TOA. But by getting Denia, Luuk can now reliably clear Whiwa. Think about it this way. He was not even close to reliably clearing Whiwa before, but now he is with that ability. And I did waste an ultimate on a 1 HP trash mob. So, yeah, that's probably what happened over there. So, yeah, that's the Whiwa demonstrations firsthand for all of you. And this is kind of like the unfortunate realization that I feel like you're probably having at this point after having seen all of this stuff. And this is where we'll start breaking down the value. Denia is a unit that only works with like 2 DPSs in the game. And you have to want to play Luuk or Aemeath and not feel satisfied with what you already have for them for this unit to be good in the first place. And I think the issue is that she's very, very, very high investment to simply add like some slight bells and whistles to your account that you might not have actually needed in the first place. Because this is the reality over here. If you had Aemeath, you probably also had Lene and Mortier. And this Toon Rupture team is stronger than the Fusion Burst team in single target. It is. And then Aemeath on Rupture mode can also still clear Whiwa. You don't need Denia at all for Aemeath if you already have a Rupture team. And similarly for Luuk, Luuk with Mortier and Lene already clears the TOA with no issues at all, and let's be real here, doesn't really clear Whiwa, so I guess that's fair. Denia is more of like an account ad if you're like really insistent on using your Luuk. But for Aemeath, Denia doesn't do that much. Especially in the Fusion Burst team and single target, though if you do want a quick swap and get a high DPS team, you can do that too. But for most players, she's not going to do that much for you. But in Whimpering Waste, though, she will make your Aemeath a lot better. But your Aemeath was already clearing in the first place on Toon Rupture mode, so does that matter? The real bonus of pulling Denia over here, and I think the main use case of this unit is very simple. It's if your Lene is busy. Maybe your Lene is busy working with Hiyuki. And so you don't have a good Aemeath team because your Lene is busy. Well, great. Maybe you can now pull Denia and go play the Fusion Burst Aemeath team because your Lene is too busy. Similarly for Luuk, if Luke's Lene is busy, he can maybe use Sanhua, but now you can use Denia instead. So Denia's kind of more of like a, hey, how could I still have some top performing teams even if Lene isn't even there? And that's kind of what her purpose feels like. And if that's enough for you, then I think she's a solid pull. But if you're pulling this unit expecting her to like change everything on your account, to like go in and then be like a cornerstone of your roster and build like a bunch of teams and all of that, no, that's Lene you're thinking about, to be the cornerstone of your roster that builds a bunch of teams and is high value. She's not. She is not. When you combine that with the fact that she has some of the worst weapon options in the game for if you're not using signatures, and it's like Lene has static mist, Lene has the free-to-play accessibility. This unit has very little free-to-play accessibility, very few weapon options, and like I mentioned before, String Master is kind of the only other alternative other than Cosmic Ripples, and her performance really goes down a lot in all situations when she isn't buffing her team's attack by 24% or giving herself 36% liberation damage bonus. That's not what she gets on any of the other things. And so all that performance that you saw, guys, that was like some S0R1 stuff on all the units. Like, it could very easily be that you have her S0R0 and then like in some situations you're like literally not clearing, which would be rough if you've already spent so much on your well, on the unit over here, just building around and stuff like that. So I would just say overall, when it comes to this character, there's a reason why I think she was placed right before the Cyberpunk collaboration. My personal take is that she's meant to be here as a strong unit. If you pull her, you'll get a lot of value out of her, right? Assuming that you have all the tools she needs to work with, and she will be a part of some of the best teams in the game. But is she skippable? Yes. She is, without a doubt, one of the, if not the most skippable units we've ever had in the game. Because she's only being used with DPS characters that can already still clear with a lot of the existing materials already. And so the use case that she's filling right now is just making your already good teams slightly better. And then maybe freeing up use cases for Lene. Is that something that most accounts will need? Probably not. Is that something that very mature, old, like veteran accounts could use? Absolutely, yeah. So I kind of view her as more of a pull if you're already well invested in. But for new players, you should probably stay away from her. Yeah, for new players should probably stay very far away from Denia. And I know that's gonna like hurt my, I know that's not good for business as a content creator, but I'm not gonna lie to my audience when it comes to stuff like that. Yeah, be very mindful if you're choosing to pull her. But if you do have the right assets, you do have the right use cases, all of that, she's gonna be a great add to your account. But you need a lot of the prerequisites. So yeah, overall, I would say really easy rotation, really easy to figure out mechanics, very, very, very simple when it comes to the gameplay. You can see the impact that she already has, but yeah, like I'm not gonna be out here saying that she's like a broken Giga must pull that everyone needs to have. That's Lene, and Lene's a much better character than Denia. Let me know what you all thought. Peace out.